Hey studs, I just figure I'd do a shop tour and maybe get everybody else interested in doing a shop tour of their shops so we can share what tools we have, what we got going on, and just a little bit about the shop that we have. So I hope this doesn't turn out to be too long, but here we go. So I've got my miter saw station here. I built those cabinets for a station at my last garage and bought that saw just for it, but changed up the design a little bit, so I needed to build a couple more cabinets, and so there it is. I've got the Oneida Supercell dust collector, and it works out pretty good. It's great size for this shop. However, it doesn't have enough CFMs to be able to pull enough air for my table saw. I don't have it hooked up right yet or right now because I had to push my assembly table and my table saw out that way so I could cut some 8-foot stock, because my laser over there took up some more space than what I had originally planned. So then there was only going to be 5 feet from the blade to the laser, and cutting 8-foot boards can't exactly do that. And then over here I've got of course various DeWalt drills. I've got the drills here on the left and then the impact drivers on the right there, and it's really handy and really convenient for when you're needing a couple of bits in each one and you're swapping back and forth to have multiple drills. Of course, I've got the circular saw and Sawzall there, a couple of Boss Stitch brad nailers there, then the DeWalt grinder and the oscillating tool. A friend gave me the Ryobi jigsaw, so that's the reason why it's green and not yellow. Then there's a couple of extra batteries in there. So I've got miscellaneous hardware, painting stuff, random larger items. I've got some fasteners in the top drawer, and then random stuff down through there. Haven't really decided what I'm gonna be putting in there. This is the Bosch 12-inch Glide miter saw. It's the same one that Jenny and Davis have at the date of this recording, which today's date is July 21st, 21. Of course, doing cutting boards, you are going to need clamps. So I went and bought Home Depot out of clamps a couple of times. I did find out that when you're buying black clamps, go ahead and buy the 10-footer, and Home Depot will cut them down to whatever length that you want and thread the ends. And so it is about $5 more for a 10-foot stick as opposed to a 30-inch. And of course you can get four had to do some quick math here. You can get four 30-inch pipes out of a 10-footer. So it's $20 for a 10-footer or $15 for a 30-incher. So random, got a couple other clamps up there, some more clamp storage, and I made some fingers for the lumber racks that go all the way around, mostly around the garage. So and then it starts there, and then it also goes across the top of the garage doors. So now that you guys are dizzy from me spinning around, oh, and I didn't have any 220 outlets, so I put, so I put those two new ones in, and then I have another one down there that was for a welder, and when I moved in, I changed it over to being a 220. So this is a Craftsman 12-inch bandsaw that I rarely use, but when I do need it, it is nice to have. And then here's the rigid joiner. It's a 6 1/8 inch joiner that I use quite often. Right now I need to either up the outfeed table or drop the cutter knives down a little bit. I changed the blades on it a couple months ago, and didn't set them right. I also added some more circuits, so that's a 20 amp dedicated circuit, and then I have another one right over here, and then another one in between the garage doors. I also put a couple of 20 amp outlets in the ceiling, and then I also added a 220 volt outlet up there in the ceiling so that I could hook my table saw into it. I did have the extension cord running across the floor to this lower 220 outlet down there, but it was a tripping hazard even though I had it taped down. If I didn't pull my foot up, pick my foot up enough, then I would trip on it. And then I have a 26-gallon air compressor buried back there so I can have a hose line across the ceiling and over to there. Now, I was having problems with it not retracting the hose up all of the way, and so after 7 months of having it, I just cut the length off that it wasn't pulling back into the reel, and it goes in very well now. So here is my laser engraver. Let me see if I can open it up some. This is the Thunder Nova 51. The 51 is for the 51-inch wide cutting surface, and then it's approximately 35 inches deep. So it is nice because the shocks will lift the lid up once you get it started. So there's some shapes that we cut out. This thing is only about 2.5 weeks old. So we got it on July 2nd. So it is really nice. Cuts fast. It's 100 watt. And for this model, I can upgrade it to a 130 watt tube in the back. So that is very nice. I was going to get their Nova 35 model, which was 35 inches across and 24 inches deep. I was going to get the 100 watt option on it, but I'm able to upgrade this one to the 130 watt. And this was only $1,000 more than the Nova 35 100 watt. And then over here I have my 1632 drum sander, Super Max, and I absolutely love this thing. For cutting boards, I run everything through it. And for all the various grits of sandpaper, I made a little caddy down there to hold the sandpaper so they're not rolling all over the place. There's a better picture of it. So here is my DeWalt DW735 planer that I got a year ago, actually 13 months ago, when Amazon had the DW735X on sale for $500. The X is the in-feed, out-feed tables and the extra set of blades for it. And so instead of $650 or $680, whatever it is, it was $500. So that was a huge savings on that one. I was able to sell a bunch of hardwood scraps for $200, and then sold my rigid planer for $300, and was able to get the planer. There's my Bosch router table that I haven't used in a year. I need to get it down and get a home for it. I do have the 1 1/4 router for it. Of course, we have the plunge base and then the fixed base for it as well. Hey, say hi, Ashlyn.
Hi.
She's blowing up her floaty so she can go to the pool and float on it. So, not yet. So my table saw is the SawStop, 3 horsepower. I've got the 36-inch rip cut table on it. I really wish I had the 52, but this one was $1,800. I got it used. It was about 10 years old when I got it, and so I got a great deal on it. The brand new is about 3,400 or somewhere in that vicinity, but got blessed and I was able to get this for $1,800, and I've only tripped the blade twice. You can see it there. That regular, the 10-inch blade was an intentional trip, just so that I could show my wife and my girls how safe the saw was, because I have a seizure disorder. And then that dado brake trip was, I got the dado stack too close to the brake and turned it on and it tripped. So yeah, wasn't happy about that one. And make sure you get a fire extinguisher for your shop. I didn't have one for the longest time, and then I got the laser and had some wood that started a little fire, and so we hit the E button and shut it off and it went out. But I realized then that I needed to get a fire extinguisher for in the shop here. So, and the lumber under there is for a farmhouse table. I've got the oak for the top and the bench tops sitting on the horses there. Quick tip is make sure you cover your lumber when it's going to be in the sun. So I get afternoon sun in the shop here, and so I decided to put some moving blankets on it to keep the sun off of it. One, it doesn't discolor it, and two, it'll keep it from warping and twisting and all of that randomness stuff. So that is my shop, a 12-minute video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see everyone else's shops. So have a good one, studs. We will talk to you later. Hey YouTube, I forgot to add a couple other tools to my shop tour video, so here they are. One of the tools is this drill press. It's a 4 model, and a guy on Facebook Marketplace was getting rid of this one he posted it for 50 bucks. $50. I know the guy got a ton of messages because I saw this one a couple hours after he had posted it, and told him, and now it was like 10 o'clock at night. I told him I will come over there right now and I'll give you 75 bucks for it. Well, I didn't hear back until in the morning, and I figured that I had lost it, but he messaged me and said, you get here and it's yours. So I grabbed 420s out of the drawer and ran over there and was able to buy it. So I just gave him 80 bucks for it. And then I sold my other benchtop drill press for 50 bucks. So I think I got a pretty good deal on it. My other tool was the Festool. I'm not going to take it out of the box, but it's a Festool Domino XL. And I got it used from a guy, well, quote unquote used. I got it secondhand. The guy never did use it. I plugged it in for the first time and tried it, and he said that he hadn't even done that. So I figured that it was a pretty good deal, seeing how it was a couple $100 off sticker price, let alone taxes and shipping. So, and he happened to be right here in Oklahoma City, so that was an added bonus. Those were the only other tools that I forgot to include in my shop tour.